Hey guys, how are you guys doing? It's been a while since we've had our YouTube video. Sorry about that. Been engaged with some work. Right, so the title of this video is basically what the heck has been going on this month of May. Right, the market has been interesting. I'm not even going to cap. It's been very, very interesting. Like the market would hit a support and then you'll now be thinking that, oh, it's hit a support zone, right? So like it's meant to react and then it will just it is well, it's one of those months. Either way, we still make our profits, we still make our wins, we give glory to God, we make sure we are making progress each passing day. Right. So the purpose of this video, like I said, what the heck is going on this month of May? So I decided to make a video backdating as to what has been happening throughout this month of May. Now this video is going to comprise of the following currency pairs, right? That is EU, GU, XAU, BTC. We might touch BTC for the sake of investors. Now, I'm going to be speaking on investments sooner than later in the progressive channel as well. I'm going to be speaking on investments, so you guys just put a keen eye on that. I might be speaking on investments for the sake of those guys that don't really have the time to be on the chat, right? But also have money to put in for it to actually grow. So I'm going to speak on investments. For example, now if you put in BTC early of this month, even if you bought BTC that is like 100,000 naira, right now you should have been receiving nothing less than 300 to 500,000 naira if you put in money in BTC, right? So for as per investment wise, so what am I saying in essence? Overall, we're going to touch that. All right, so let me get my pencil. Okay, let's start, shall we? Now, currently my chart is on gold. Yeah, so first thing first, I go to my daily time frame. I've noticed that on my daily time frame, we have been bullish for quite some time. It's just been making new highs. Imagine if you, you entered into gold January this 2025, January, right? You were able to like buy gold this January 2025, right? And you bought gold as per an investment, right? And then you held it. Right now, you should be seeing nothing less than, it moved up from 2,500 per ounce all the way to 3,400. That is over like almost 1,000 naira boost up from that. Honestly speaking, that is like almost 100% returns. Honestly speaking, that is if you put in, it's even more, it should be more than 100% return is gold. That is if you put in as per investment, not even that you're trading it on a daily basis, right? This intraday trading, those like, there are even more traders. There are those people that trade, right? And there are those people that actually just buy the actual assets and leave it for it to hold, right? That's the next aspect of Mass Institute by getting into. So just be prepared. We're already preparing, we're already getting things set up for you guys as well over there. So just imagine you bought the asset gold. Even if you bought it for like 100k, you just closed your eye and left it there. That's January 2025. Right now you will be swimming in nothing less than 500k on that gold. I'm not even playing. The same thing for BTC as well. We're going to dive into that as time progresses, right? So like I said, we're about to open that side of the company, so just put your eye out for this kind of things because you should be expecting it very soon. Now, for those of us that are traders / investors, soon to be investors, right? We've noticed that gold has been on the bullish, meaning that the next target that we are expecting gold to hit is 3,500, right? So now, what do we do next? The first thing I noticed is that the market gave us this double top here. Beautiful. After which, if I measure it out, from here to here. I'll measure from the actual candle, not the wick. I realized that the market gave me something relative to that, right? It has fulfilled the double top purpose, right? So then the next thing I do is I go to my 4-hour time frame. Now this is where it gets interesting, right? These are some of the trades that we took, right, on gold, both on the VIP and also etc. Yes. Now, sorry, I made mention of this some weeks ago. Consolidation, manipulation, distribution. We made money out of that. So now, I first draw my fib, lowest point to the highest point, right? It's very important that we, right? And then I noticed that the fib, what is it called? The fib, right? Okay, wrong way, sorry. Let me get that properly so that we have no issues whatsoever. Yes. So yes, I noticed that on the fib, right, the 0.68 level was keenly placed on this breaker block that we have here, right? So now let me delete this fib so we're able to see it properly. So see this breaker block that we have here, right? Okay, sorry. See this breaker block that we have here, right? I noticed that our 0.618 level was keenly placed on that breaker block. And I understood that currently we are on buys, right? That is on gold, right? We all know this chart pattern, right? What is it called? Falling this thing, falling in triangle. The market gave us another manipulation phase here. Then after which the market gave us a distribution all the way up to take out the liquidity that is resting up there. That is how the market formed the double top that I previously stated. And the market came all the way down. That is how we were able to get this trade, as it were, because we understood that there was a double top that was resting up there, right? Now, when the market entered into this breaker block zone, right, we understood that we're expecting up movements from this point forward. So the next thing that we did is that we went to the 30 minutes time frame. Now on the 30 minutes time frame, right, on the 30 minutes time frame, the market broke out of this, causing a temporal change of character, right? It now came down and mitigated this breaker block we have here, right? After which it gave us this up movement here, right? Then it came down, came up, came down, came up before it broke out. Now, how did I enter on this breakout? I understood that, okay, let me extend this. So for those people that are trying to understand, right, let me extend it. So I understood that there were sell orders here, that is sell liquidity that was trapped here, right? And the market had to take out, right? So then with that understanding, I went in immediately and decided to buy once I see this breakout, which it gave me, and I bought all the way to this level that I have here. This is another key level that we have over here. Sorry, another breaker block we have over there, right? Now, how I entered into this one, which that was until Friday, which closed out there, I noticed that we had a trend line consolidation liquidity. Then we have this manipulation here, right? We have this manipulation phase that happened, which after it broke out and is giving us a distribution right now, which meaning that if your TP was actually over here, right now you would have closed on this trade in profits. But we're holding it all the way up to here, right? But most likely by Monday morning, midnight, I'll close it and see what the market does next, because it's Monday, it's a new week. You never know what the market is going to do to you in a new week, honestly speaking. The first day of the new week. So to play it on the safe side, you will do that, right? So that is our thought process on gold. So what am I saying in retrospect? Like in general, gold is buying, right? We're buying all the way up to here. Assured, that's 3,432.95. We're going to receive buys up to there. That one is for sure. But the overall buy we are expecting is 3,545. Okay, so that is it on gold. Now for me to go into EU, I have to first go to DXY. It's quite important. Yeah, this is DXY. Yeah. So now I already explained this previous part on previous videos. So if you want to understand the thought process behind all this, I do advise you go to previous videos, right? So now I'm going to focus on what we're looking at currently on the 30 minutes to save time. Okay. So now on the 30 minutes, we understood that double top market came down, leaving liquidity, sell liquidity at the top. We have this inefficiency the market had to fill, which it did. Then it gave us a channel that's basically consolidation point of liquidity, which of course market came up, gave us a manipulation, taking out the top liquidity, then gave us a distribution, taking out the bottom liquidity, right? Then after which the market gave us a support to resistance test out, right, which evidently caused this sell that we're seeing right here. Now what do we do next? The market gave us this consolidation pattern, broke out, giving us a manipulation, after which, after touching a breaker block on the higher time frame, which I'm going to show now on the 4-hour time frame, yeah, after touching that breaker block that we have there, the market sold for us all the way down, taking out the resting liquidity that is up, that is here. Now for me to explain this, for me to explain what's happening over here, right? Let me remove that. It's quite simple, if I'm to be honest, right? Basically, the market gave us an M pattern. That's just the basic truth. So if the market came here, tapped it over there, right? So now, what am I to expect after which the market gave us one tap there, then it gave us another tap, then it sold all the way down. So understanding the principles of an M pattern, right, you can take off on this trade and make your profits. You draw the neckline, right? The market breaks out of the neckline, put your stop loss above the double tops, and then let it run all the way down for itself. It's basically that simple, right? All right then. So this has given me the understanding that this is just a support to resistance I marked out recently. This has given me the understanding that DXY is sell. Now, if DXY is sells, I'm expecting much more sells. I'm expecting sales to happen all the way down to what level again? Yes, I'm expecting sales to go all the way down to at least 97.988. What does that mean? That basically means that, Euro USD, GU, and even most times gold is bullish. So with that understanding, I dive in immediately into my Euro USD. That's BTC, which we're going to go into, of course. I dive in immediately into my Euro USD and I ask myself a simple question. Euro USD, what are you doing right now? Right? I ask myself a simple question. So let me go back to DXY. Sorry about that. I think I just saw something that I missed out on. Just a moment, please. Okay, I understand what happened. Sorry about that. So I need to just make sure covered up our bases. Yeah, this is Euro USD on the 30 minutes. I'm going to explain all this. Worry not. I'm going to explain all this. So, Euro USD in whole. So, what is Euro USD doing to us right now, guys? Yes, we are expecting buys to happen on the Euro USD, right? We're expecting buys to happen on the Euro USD. But how is this buy going to happen? How? Right, first thing I'm going to just note on the daily is we have this pattern that just showed up, which the market came back and tapped, which is giving us this up move we're expecting. But aside from that, how? So this is my current low and this is my current high, right? The market taps into the 0.5, giving me a W pattern. That's already confirmations that we're buying. But how did it get to that point? That's the important part now. How did we get there? Which I'm going to have to explain, right? So now, does this look familiar to you guys? I'm just asking, does this look familiar to you guys? Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So, what does this show you? A head and shoulder. Perfect. So then, having the understanding that we're having a head and shoulder there, you draw it on the body and you draw it all the way down, right? Then you now take what is down there, sorry, let me just draw it here so it doesn't confuse with the other pieces we have all the way down here, right? Now you might ask that, okay, Michael, it's obviously still longer. Why didn't it go all the way down? One, most times, right, it just needs to go a good degree, to be honest. You should be able to notice when there's a reversal, when you see an engulfing opposite trend. Basically, if it has been selling like it is right now, if you see an engulfing bullish shot, it already indicates to you that buyers have entered into the market. But aside from that, let me go to my daily time frame, and I'm going to measure the body alone and not the wick. If we measure the body alone and not the wick, right, just the bodies, not the wick, guys, just the bodies. As you can see, it's relatively the same thing. You see that? So now, that means we've cleared out that sell. That sell has happened. It has gone. Right now, we're expecting buys. All these. So if I go to my 30 minutes now and I start back testing, which I'm going to show you guys right now, so that nobody is confused, right? I start back testing some of these things, right, for us. All these, this is our okay from here. We already went through this previously before, right? Trendline liquidity, breakout of the trendline liquidity, right? To take out this liquidity that is on the trend line. Then we have a consolidation, then we have a manipulation phase, which after we have a distribution that gave us this up movement. Clean. Then we see another chart pattern play out. The market took out the sell, manipulated here, then it gave us another consolidation before it gave us our distribution. Clean. Leaving out liquidity that is below here, which when the market came up gave us a double top, right? Leaving out the sell side liquidity and focusing on the buy. Came down, took out this liquidity that is down here as well. Basically, the market's head and shoulder, basically liquidity exchange that's going on all the way like this. Liquidity exchange, liquidity exchange. So basically, it's just liquidity exchange all the way to where we are currently speaking, which is here. Now, the market gave us this. That is, what's it called? I call this a double bottom rather. After which the market broke out, right, gave us a consolidation phase, then it still broke out to cover up this inefficiency we have here, give us a flag pattern, give us a manipulation that we have here, right, then give us a distribution. This is where, yes, I sent this signal last Friday, so this week that just passed, right, and I closed it out early and I told people to close out, which is honestly speaking my mistake. I should not have done that, because I was seeing that the market gave us what is it called? this M pattern here. And I believe after the M pattern, the market would have gone down to take out the liquidity of the M pattern before it went up. But what the market basically did was simple. It gave us a trend line liquidity first. All right. Let me just say, give us a trend line liquidity first. Yes. Then after it broke out, it gave us a consolidation phase here. All right. After which it gave us a manipulation phase. If I go to 15 minutes, you'll see it. All right. Then after which it now give us a distribution phase all the way up here. Are you seeing that? That's basically what the market did. Now, for those people that held the trade on Euro USD this week that just passed, you guys must have made crazy money, honestly speaking. I made most of my money last week on GU and gold. That's the truth. The EU pained me because it would have really scaled me up even more. Regardless, we still close out with good profits. But I'm just trying to explain what happened on this EU for everybody to notice, okay? So now, that's aside, okay? Now, the market gave us another consolidation phase, then manipulation. Now it's giving us another distribution phase right now, which is why I'm expecting buys. The buys will continue all the way up to here, though. But to be on the safer side, I normally look at ratio 1 to 2s. That's why I left it over here, right? Because you can see it's trying to form for us and a bearish engulfing, meaning that it's still going to try and play around a little. So as soon as the market opens this midnight, I'm going to even close the trade in the profit that I'm seeing right now. Because like I said, Monday is a risky time to be actually trading, unless you are certain of what the market is doing, because Monday is the beginning of the week. There's going to be a lot of liquidity exchange, and if you don't know what you're doing, even if you know what you're doing, you need to tread carefully, honestly speaking, guys. So now that is for EU. GU is basically the same thing, right? GU is basically the same thing. So if I'm to explain GU has been on a buy for us for a long time, right? So this is basically a consolidation. This is even beautiful. That's why I just took GU, honestly speaking. I wish you guys pick GU on the channel for me to send to you. Everybody will have made profits, right? But irregardless, the EU, we've learned from it. By the grace of God alone, we will not make that same mistake. Okay. So we now see we have a consolidation phase happening. Then after the market give us a manipulation all the way down here, right? Then it now give us a distribution all the way up here. That's basically what happened with GU. I remember one of our trading students came over to the office to discuss this with me, and I told him exactly what's going to happen, and to the glory of Christ Jesus alone, he played out exactly that. So yeah, leaving this trend line liquidity that the market took out. So now if I go to lower time frames, right, now the market obeyed. Obviously this is a consolidation phase. I can mark it out, although I didn't even take that because it didn't serve the ratio 1 to 2s I normally do, or 1 to 3s. So now this is obviously, you can look at this as an AW pattern. It's choice, to be honest. That's choice. Broke out, came for a retest and it bought, came for a retest and it bought all the way up. That is one way to look at it. It bought all the way up to here, following if I measure from here to here, right, after the tap, it should be even more than you can see. So yeah, now that's one way to look at it. Another way you can look at it is that this is a trend line liquidity the market formed here, right? This is obviously the other flow the market respected. This is obviously the double bottom, right? That is also common in Euro USD. Okay. Yes. So the market took out the liquidity. After it took out the liquidity, it gave us a minor double bottom pattern, came back and retested it, and it went all the way up, and it was buying all the way up from there throughout, right? So then this is obviously a breakout block the market respected and continued going upwards, and then the market gave us a channel trendline liquidity, so a channel consolidation liquidity, which after that is how we just took this trade for an up. That's basically what we used for GU. Straightforward and simple. Okay, so now BTC. Now this is my previous. This is my next outlook on BTC. It's even playing out the way I wanted to. Thank God. So it's basically coming down to take out that liquidity. Then from there we might be expecting more up moves as well. So before we get into that, let's explain what's going on right now. I want it to be nothing less than 28 minutes. So now BTC, we have been longing BTC for quite some time. We've been buying BTC for quite some time. I even explained this channel liquidity and breakout that happened, right? So now, what happened in BTC here was quite simple, right? Double top, neckline, broke out. Liquidity is resting up here on the double top. The market gave us another double bottom. Ironically, give us another double bottom, aiding the trend that we are on. Broke out. After it broke out, it's aiming for the liquidity or the sell side liquidity up there. That's simple. All right, go to lower time frames. That's how we got this minor one that we had here. Consolidation, bought it. Give us another consolidation, trendline consolidation here. Then we now have a manipulation happening. Then from there, distribution, bought it. Inside the trade, we had another trendline consolidation, manipulation, bought it on the distribution. That's simple. Now, right now, the market gave us another consolidation up here. Double bottom, double top rather, consolidation. Let me go to the 30 minutes so we're able to see. Yeah, so rather triple top. Yeah, triple top. So consolidation, and there's liquidity resting up there for the market to take out later on. Now here we have what's it called, resistance to support, meaning that below the support we have liquidity resting there, which the market, as we can see, is doing its best to take out before we start going up. Right, so right now BTC has almost finished its sell leg, almost finished, but it's still on it. After it takes out the liquidity that is resting there, I believe that BTC is going to give us another buying movement all the way up here. Yes. So my friends, that concludes our May analysis, to the glory of God. So what am I saying? DXY is selling, so EU, GU, XAU will be buying, right? And BTC as well right now is completing its sell leg before it continues its buys. All right, I would have done USD JPY, but we don't really have that much time on it. It's already 28 minutes. Okay, so now that concludes everything. Like if you understood and you enjoyed it. If you have questions, drop it on the comment section. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Share out to your friends as well. Let's learn from each other and grow with each other as well. Okay, guys, it has been a pleasure from us at Mars Institute. Thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. The link for our channels are available in the description box as well. Have a blessed evening, guys. Cheers.